What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Rashonology. I am your host, RJD. As always, follow Rashonology on YouTube and RJD199 on Rumble. Shout out to Rumble. We are now rocking with Rumble and RJ699 on X. You guys already know we are expanding, broadening our horizons, and we're going to keep the ball rolling. Now, The Last of Us Season 2 is officially in the books, and I'm going to talk about the last couple of episodes. This will contain spoilers, so if you have not seen The Last of Us Season 2, please go watch it now, and then come back and watch me again, and hit the like button, as always. But all right, so The Last of Us Season 2 is now over, and if you played the game, if you know how it ends. Abby comes into the theater, finds everybody, and Jesse gets clipped. And after Jesse gets clipped, she says, "You wasted it. I let you all live, and you killed all my friends. Wait, you wasted it. I let you all live. You killed all of my friends." They remixed it a little bit for the TV show. So here's my thing. What I liked about the episode. What I liked about the episode, probably Jesse, because Jesse, he has his moral compass. He's like, it's the right thing to do. They're the bad guys. We're the good guys. This is not our war. There's another scene where he's like, this is not our war. This got nothing to do with us. We got to get the hell out of here. And he's like, I found you because you left the horses here. Took us 2 days to get you. And he's fishing for information. He's like, the girl who never refused to drink in her life. Now she said, I don't want to drink. And she says, I can't die. Now I don't want to die. I can't die. Yeah, I'm no fool. She pregnant, ain't she? And Ellie's like, damn, I thought she would tell you. And then he's like, oh shit, she really is pregnant. And he's like, oh, you were guessing? I don't understand. And it's just like, it's like, okay. I like the fact that Jesse is like, yo, we got to get the hell out of here. I'm going to be a father. I got to get that girl and that kid out of here. And you selfishly brought them out here, for your revenge plot. Even though in the games, Ellie was really pissed. And I'm mad that they didn't put that same energy out. That Ellie was pissed in the show. That's what I liked. Another thing I liked is the Dina and Ellie scene when she comes through. She runs upstairs and she tells her, because they took that from the games too. They put it in a different spot. Well, they put it in the same spot, but it was remixed. But she's like, you see all the marks on her back, and she's telling her what Joel did. And she's like, yeah, they did all that to save me, and what's going to happen. And maybe she didn't deserve it. I liked that aspect. These actors are good. So we're not going to sit up here and say, oh, they can't act. Because that's bullshit. Like, come on. You stupid. It's not that they can't act. They can act. The acting is good here. Like, I genuinely feel, I can feel it in the air of the night. I feel it. I feel the love. The problem I have with The Last of Us Season 2 is Ellie. And I'm not talking about Bella Ramsey. I know everybody's making memes and all this other crap. Not even talking about any of that. I'm just talking about me objectively playing this game, loving this game. I'm actually going to replay this game. I'm going to replay both games and stream them both. But the fact that Ellie is an idiot. Like, I don't know why they wrote her character to be so childlike. Like, when Bella Ramsey was playing Ellie, the young Ellie, it was perfect. Perfect. But playing the older Ellie, she's supposed to be older, more mature, more competent. She's supposed to know her way around. She's supposed to know how to do things, and she don't know how to do shit. And this whole season, they made her boo-boo the fucking fool. They made her an idiot, and I don't know why. It's like Dina, if it's not for Dina or if it's not for Jesse, somebody like she got saved in the game too. So I'm not even gonna say it's like that, but she knew how to handle herself and she was well equipped to go on the murder mission. She didn't need help on how to track these people. Triangulate? What's that triangulate? What does that mean? It's like they made her a dumbass, and I don't understand why they did that. Why did they make this character stupid? Like, that takes it away. And when she's talking to Jesse, like in the games, she doesn't feel like a child. She caught a temper tantrum with Jesse, talking about that person's getting hurt. We got to go save them. What? In the game, she didn't give a shit about. She was going to kill Abby no matter what. She didn't start feeling. She didn't start feeling that remorse, or she didn't start feeling that maybe this is not the right thing. She didn't start feeling that until she killed Mel. She started to feel it a little bit when she beat the holy crap out of Nora and killed her. But when she killed Mel and Owen, and she was like, she's pregnant, that's when she was like, oh shit, we gotta go. Like, what am I doing? Maybe it's not worth it. That is when she started to feel remorse. Before that, she was all gas, no brakes. And I played the game. She was all gas, no brakes. They're over here. They're over here. They're over here. We're going to kill them all. So I don't know why they took that aspect away from her. It's like the show didn't know what it wanted to be. Did it want to be a revenge plot to, because there's a lot happening in this final episode. So there's a lot going on. And I think that too hurt the show because it's only 7 episodes. They definitely could have got 10 good episodes out of this season, but they just didn't want to, or maybe it wasn't in the budget, whatever. Who knows? Above my pay grade. But what I do know is that they definitely, that was a problem. Her believability as older Ellie, just don't believe her. I just don't believe, and I don't know why I don't believe this character, but I just don't. Nope. And like I said, that's not me trying to shit on Bella Ramsey. Bella Ramsey's a good actress. So it's not about shitting on her. It's just when I see her as young Ellie, I believe it. But then she takes that same approach to older Ellie. It's like she feels the same, if that makes sense. She doesn't feel like she's grown. She doesn't feel mature. She got a temper tantrum and almost got her and Jesse killed because, and that's not her as an actor. That's the writing. You know, she has to work with what she's given. And she just was like, yeah, we got to go save them. Jesse's like, bro, this ain't our war. We came for him. Now, when she left him and went to go get Abby, that was good because that's what Ellie would do. Ellie would be like, nah, I got to go. And he's like, yo, I hope you make it. I'll holler at you. I'm going to go get Tommy. So, and that happened in the game too. I believe they did split up. But that's what I'm saying. You can't. And there was this part on the island was useless. I don't know. Because in the game, you get on that boat, go into the aquarium. The boat, obviously, the water's crazy, it's choppy, gets destroyed, and then you have to literally swim, and you barely make it to the shoreline. Okay, they did that here. It was choppy waters. You got in the water, but then when she on her boat capsizes and she's out of nowhere, just gone, she drifts off to the Scar Island. The Scar sees her. He whistles for other Scars. The baby Scar sees her, whistles for other Scars. And then next thing you know, they're about to gut her like a fish, like they did the other guy in the woods. And she's getting caught up in this Scar WLF war when she got nothing to do with that. She just wants to go find Abby. So I get where they were going for, because she wanted to go save that scar earlier in the episode, and then it turns around that at the end of the episode, that scar was like, I'm still trying to kill you. Like, you part. I don't know if you part of this. You're not part of this. We caught you. You dead. So it really didn't matter. Both sides are too far gone to even have anything happen. So I get what they were going for, but my thing is, she gets in there. She gets caught. I guess the emergency bell for the island. They had to go back to the island and get back to the village. That turns around, and then she gets back on the boat and ends up going to the aquarium anyway. So what was the point of her going there just to get choked up, to get saved by the bell, so to speak, or saved by the explosion, and then to come back?
Nope.
What was the point of her? What was the point of that 5-minute sequence? It was just a waste of 5 minutes. So, I mean, people can nitpick that. I don't know what people are saying. I don't know what's going on. What did IGN give this? All reviews. Let's see. So they gave it a 6. They ain't like it. Not at all. They gave it a 6. So they did not like this shit. I wonder why they gave it a 6. Let's see. The Last of Us season finale review. Let's see. Instead, Jesse must act like a responsible adult because Ellie, you know what I'm saying, despite barely being older than Ellie and Dina, his words of warning fall on deaf ears. Ellie refuses to see how her mission is bringing down everyone around her, and it culminates in a lesson of selflessness at a scene of bookstore where Jesse finally admits that he voted against her. And he voted against her because he's like, yo, I don't want to die. Like, I agree with her on that aspect. Joel or Tommy would have been halfway around the world. The fact that they had to have a tribunal and Tommy didn't leave is ridiculous. Because in the game, you're Tommy's in front of you, you're behind him, and you see him just sniping everybody. Bang, bang. Everybody can get it. And in the show, they just made him like, oh, my brother, I can't. He's my brother. I love him, but I can't go. Even though he ends up going anyway. It's like, what? What do you mean? She said Joe would have been halfway around Seattle already to kill those bastards. So it's like they changed some things they didn't need to change. And then you had the whole middle of the season where it's like, are we on a revenge plot or are we in a love story? Because if it's a young adult love story, then keep that tone all the way through. But the tone is supposed to be serious, murderous, revenge, anger. And when you got that stuff in the middle where that episode in the middle where they love each other and then they sleep together, and then it's like they did it in the game, but they did it more tactfully and tastefully than just, fingering her with the infected finger that she got bit on. So it's just they did a lot of things they didn't need to do. They changed a lot of things they didn't need to change. But all in all, I like the game so much. And it's not like I hated the show. I just think the writing wasn't all that great. I think the tone wasn't all that great. Because some episodes, it's like, what show are we trying to be? I do like the end. The last couple of episodes are great. Pedro Pascal, his episode with Ellie, probably the best episode of the season, because they took that shit straight out of the games, and you didn't need to change that at all. That was perfect with her as astronaut and her visualizing it. Picture perfect. Her on the T-Rex, picture perfect. It's like there's certain things you don't gotta mess with it. Like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's my thing. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Just don't. Leave it. Leave it the way it is. It's good. Leave it. But they decided against it, and they switched some things around. So it is what it is. All I can say is season 3. I want to see what a lot of people thought. Now, I know they were losing viewership, but season 3, they kind of are going to go with Abby's side. And if you know anything about the game, you go through the game as Ellie first, and then it just cuts off and you start back at the beginning playing as Abby, seeing how her days went. And a lot of people didn't like that because a lot of people didn't like Abby. They're like, you killed Joel. We don't like you. We don't care. So a lot of people had mixed messages about that. But let's see how it plays out. Let's see how it plays out in the show. I reserve the right to say, let's see how it plays out. You know what I'm saying? We got to see how it plays out. But let's see. Anything else I could say on this episode? Uh, Jesse probably was real good. The murders of Mel, and Owen were good. Um, the way they died was great too. Obviously, it's not great people died, but the way they did it was she's trying to tell her, "I'm gonna walk you through getting the baby cut out of me," and it's like, "Wait, what? What the hell am I supposed to do here?" And it's like, "You got 30 seconds. I got 30 seconds. Cut the baby out." It's like that was crazy. That was a good addition. That was something good that they changed. And then she starts to realize the ramifications of what she's doing. She starts to realize the consequences of this revenge tale that she's on, and she starts to kind of flip it, but it's too late. She had already killed all of Abby's friends, and Abby had already found out. So there's a good show in here. There's an A++ show in here, but it's just, I don't know if they hit it on all cylinders like I know they could have. So let's read this. So we were made to feel some sympathy for Ellie in the show's version of this event, when really it should be at the point in which we fear her most. She should feel like a lost cause, not like a child stumbling into a horror movie. That's my point. She doesn't feel, she should, in the game, she is a savage. She's like, everybody's going to die until I get to Abby. She doesn't start feeling that remorse until the end of the game. When she's like, is this revenge thing really worth it? She can't lie like Joe could. Not even a little white lie to put Mel at ease. This moment acts as fantastic concept story of Eugene in the last week's episode, but it's just nowhere near as effective in its overall execution. And another example of this adaptation pulling its punches when it comes to moments of pure violence, numbing the impact of the story as a result. Yeah, like it when she, like, they kept that brutal part. They kept the brutal, like, there's good aspects of the show. The spores was a good part of the show. Her beating Nora to death was a good part of the show. Like the Owen and Mel was a good part of the show. Like, there's a good show in here. Like, there's a 9 or 10 show in here. They just, I don't know what stopped them. I don't know if it's the writing. I don't know what it was. Bella Ramsey is astonishing in her display of Ellie's despair, but the scene is harmed by the speed at which their character finds herself in this situation. The episode darts from one location instead of characters to another. In the final 20 minutes, we see Isaacs set it off for the night, intentions known, and fully expects to die tonight. But where they are going, it's a mystery for another time, unless you play The Last of Us 2, of course, because we all have. The moving piece of distance, especially if you're not already familiar with the game's plot and narrative devices. We barely know Isaac. We barely know of the people Ellie killed. Oh, and we even see her washed up on an island, almost being dispatched in a uniquely sci-fi manner, only to be saved by a distant alarm. It's all over the blink of an eye, and it feels like one too many magical ingredients have been tossed in the mix, so thrown around like Ellie's choppy Pacific waters. That's what I'm saying. It was all over the place. So it was all over the place. So the problem is the TV and viewers still have to wait many months, if not years, to see the gaps fill in, rather than a half dozen hours of game in The Last of Us 2. I admire the decision to stick to the structure, although I do feel the main effect of the dual perspective was to hold on to the reveal of Abby's motive until halfway point, which it was. A revenue guarantee. 2 episodes of the season. Wonder how much impact scenes. Hey, trip about that. All right, so verdict. Let's see the verdict, and then I'm gonna get y'all out of here. The season 2 finale is Last of Us cliffhanger. Out of experience, some here is much of thrills. Ellie's quest for vengeance reaches its lowest point yet, but impact still feels damn due to the whiplash of minutes leading up to it. Moments between Ellie and Dina, certain high concerns, so it's bad rise to the flow, too little left in the horrors. affected the offense. It gets worse. Where Elliot Abbey needs to be ahead of season 3, but the intelligence doesn't suit its nuanced story. Inelegance that doesn't fit. Yeah, this is rough stuff. Rough stuff. There's a good show in here. They just didn't pull it off. Not to me. So we'll see what happens in season 3 in a year or two. We'll see if they correct the mistakes and listen to the fans. Other than that,